All right, what's up, coach? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben Nabers, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make north of $1,200 per hour with your private sports training business. I own a business called Make Money Coaching Sports. I consult coaches all over the world now that run this type of training business. We've been able to work with a lot of coaches that make more than $1,200 per session. So this is going to give you step by step exactly how to do this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I want you to follow along, take notes here, and this way you can get the most out of this video. All right. So like I said, we're going to go through how to make $1,200 per hour with your private sports training business. And let's get straight into this. So first, we're going to start with the structure of your program. And I have a couple of simple questions here that you want to answer. So this way, we have the right foundation before we move in to a very detailed spreadsheet that I have that has a bunch of numbers on it. All right. So first thing we want to figure out is, do you need an assistant coach or are you going to run this by yourself? And I like starting with this because a lot of people that I deal with, they have backgrounds in teaching or physical education. Like they know how to deal with a lot of kids at one time. And there's a lot of coaches out there. When I tell them about group training and getting in front of a lot of kids, like they cringe and they are unable to do that or they don't want to learn how to do that. So if you're the type of person that's a really good communicator, you can have a program and you can make $1,200 an hour purely by yourself. All right. That might sound unbelievable, but when I show you the numbers that I'm about to show you in the next spreadsheet, or in the next slide after this, you're going to see this step by step, exactly what I'm talking about. But we want you to be able to stick with your strength. So if your strength is talking in front of a lot of kids, managing a lot of kids, and you know how to run a quality session in front of a lot of kids, you could do this by yourself. And if you are not that way and you want to have more coaches on your staff, then you have to factor that in. But that's something we have to really drill down first, before you get to a level of making $1,200 an hour. Got to figure out like how are you going to actually do this? Okay. Next is, how good is the session for each individual who's there? Because obviously, if you're doing this in group training, you don't want to have a watered down session or a watered down program where kids are just standing around, they're looking at each other, they don't really know what to do, they're not active, they're just flat-footed the whole time. So this is one of those things that has to be on point, because you don't want to have this type of business where like you're good at getting clients, but you're bad at keeping clients. If that's the case, like you making a bunch of money in 1 month, that's worthless to your business and it's not a great service. So it's got to be a really good session for each individual, no matter what level that they're at, right? Next one here is the coaching personalized or too generic, right? So this comes down to your coaching philosophy, how you want to coach kids, right? I'm not going to say that there's one size fits all where it's like this is the perfect model. It's going to work for every single coach out there. Um, I'm not delusional. I would never say something like that. So you have to really understand though, like, is this training that I'm doing, is the coaching that I'm doing with these kids, is it personalized or is it too watered down, too generic? If it's too generic, you're going to have a high chance of people leaving shortly after they join your program, because they're not going to feel um, like it's catered towards them or catered towards their kid. Okay, and that is not what we want. What we want is something that is personalized. Okay. Next one here is, what are you doing to hold kids accountable in between your sessions? You've heard me talk about this. If you've watched my YouTube channel for a long time, or maybe this is your first time ever watching one of my videos, like I talk about this constantly, right? And it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse here when I say this, but it's like you have to have things in place that kids can access when they are not physically training with you. All right. They spend so little time with you personally throughout the week. So you need to have a program designed where they have resources, they have videos, they have things that they can do when they are not with you. And there's a sense of accountability. You're not just like, hey, here, go watch all these videos. Like kids won't do that. You have to have an accountability system within your business. And this makes your business and your program better than anyone else that's in your area. It's going to try to do this sort of stuff. And that's going to keep your client longer in your program, right? Next one here, like coaches that I work with that make 100,000 to $750,000 per year, they have this sort of stuff on lockdown. All right. So let's go down here. We're going to talk about the overview and simple pricing models to use. All right, so I have a spreadsheet here, and we're going to go through this piece by piece. So if you need to pause some of the stuff I'm about to show you or take a screenshot of some of this, feel free to do it. And I'm going to be basing this off of how much you're charging. And I'm going to use the number $300 per month. And I like using this number because it's exactly what I used to charge parents in group training. And I had a $300 per month offer and a $3,000 per month annual offer where they had 2 months free when they paid up front. A lot of the coaches that I work with in our program, they sell a similar type of offer where parents are paying upfront for a program. They're not paying upfront for lessons. They're paying upfront for a program. And this is how you get really committed types of customers that get really good results, right? So I'm going to be basing it again off of $300 per month. And this is real simple here. So on the left, I have numbers of players per group. So this is 6, and then we have 12, and then we have 18. And remember what I said earlier. Are you going to do this by yourself, or are you going to do this with other coaches that are assisting you? So you might look at this number 18 and be like, wow, that's a lot of kids. I don't know if I can handle that on my own. Well, there's two things you can do. You can either learn how to be a better communicator and figure out how to do this yourself, or you bring on someone that can help you during that hour. So this way you can scale how many kids you train without you doing everything. Because if you're not confident training 18 kids at once, I would never tell you to just go do that because you're going to have a bad product. Okay. Whether that be for 18 or 12. All right. Because a lot of coaches that I work with, they cap out their groups at 6. And that's what they want to do. They want to just run it themselves. They don't want more than 6. So they stick to the model that I'm about to walk through here. All right. So again, parents are paying $300 per month. All right. And we would want all of these parents to be on a contract, a legit agreement. And we want them to go through a sales process. So they're not just like DMing you saying, hey, I want to train with you. And you're like, all right, cool. Here's the link. Like that's not what coaches do in this industry that make a lot that have really committed clients. They have a different process in place. If you send me a text, I can show you more about how my process works for you. All right. Now with this option here, let's just focus in on the 6. All right. So 6 players per group. What parents are paying monthly is $300 per person. All right. So with this model, you're making $450 per hour. All right. It's really good money for doing something, for 1 hour of time, 450 bucks. That's amazing. All right. And for this one group, you're making $1,800 per month. All right. Now, what I have this, on the next couple of things here is I have this scaled out if you have 5 groups. All right. So if you have 5 groups and they're paying $300 per person and we have 6 players per group, you're making $9,000 per month. So you're making 6 figures with this model. And with this model, right, you have only 5 groups. So these are kids training with you 1 time per week. So you could literally have this first model here set up to where you have 1 session per week. And if you schedule this the right way, you could literally run all your sessions on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So 3 sessions on Wednesdays, 2 sessions on Thursdays, done for the week, making $100,000 per year. All right, more than 100,000 because if you take 9,000 times 12, it's a little bit more than 100K per year. All right, 108,000 to be exact. Okay, so we have that here. So total per year for 5 groups on this model is $108,000. Total amount of clients that you need, consistent clients, is 30 clients. And I made an Instagram post about this. I think this was like 8 or 9 days ago. I had this post that said, "Did you know that you only need 30 committed clients to make $100,000 per year?" I had so many coaches DM me, and they were like, "That's impossible. There's no way. There's no way you could do that." And then I sent them screenshots of literally like hundreds of coaches I've done this with uh, that have 30 clients that make more than $100,000 per year with this model. And time to deliver these sessions for 5 groups per week is 5 hours per week, 20 hours per month, 240 hours per year. It is very simple if you have the right systems in place. All right. So again, with 30 clients on this model, if they're paying $300 per month each, all right, you're making more than $100,000 per year. All right. So now this is where things get a little crazy on the spreadsheet as far as how much you can make per hour based off of what you're offering. All right. So now let's go to this one here. So 12 players per group. So here again, parents are paying the same amount, $300. Now you may have an assistant coach here, when you're doing this, you could be running a group of six, they could be running a group of six, or you could have two assistant coaches. They are running, both groups of six at the same time. All right, within the same hour. So there's 12 kids there per session. Okay. All right. Now with this model here, you're making $900 per hour. So you're making 2x because there's twice as many kids there. All right. And with one group, you're making $3,600 per month. So I've seen a lot of coaches that I've worked with that have other jobs. Maybe they're a teacher, or they're doing something else. And they want to run this as a part-time thing. They use this model here where they're making $3,600 per month. Okay. And they're working literally one session a week. Okay. Because they have more kids there. All right. Again, they're making $900 per hour. All right. $3,600 per month. And they can run that on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. I mean, that's really your call. Now, when we have this scaled out towards how much is it if you have five groups? So if we have five groups of 12, okay, now we're making $18,000 per month. That number right now, it might sound insane to you, right? But here's the deal. When you spend time around people that are doing this sort of stuff, you will realize it is not insane. Yeah, you will realize, oh my gosh, that person is doing that. Like it's possible. Like if I tell you that, just if you just hear me say it, it might sound impossible, but like this is why we have our accelerator program. We have 270 coaches in there. There's a lot of coaches that I've already worked with that make way more than $18,000 per month because they have a similar model in place for their business. Okay. Now let's go over here. So how much, uh, if you're making 18K per month consistently throughout the year, you're making $216,000 per year. Okay. And you need 60 clients total. And you are training the same amount, 5 hours per week, 20 hours per month. All right. 240 hours per year. All right. Because all we're doing is we're increasing how many kids are at each group session. Okay. That's all we're doing here. And to make $216,000 per year consistently with just 60 clients, I know that can sound crazy because I know there's some people watching this video right now that have way more than 60 clients that are not anywhere close to $100,000 per year. Right. So I'm showing you here, if you just have 60 committed clients, all right, with this model here, you're making 216 grand. It's amazing money. All right. All right. Next one here. This is if you have 18 clients. Okay. So again, paying the same amount, you're making 1350 per hour. And the title of this video is how to make 1,200 or more dollars uh, per hour. This is how we do it. Okay. So it's more kids there, same rate. All right. Making $5,400 per month with one group. All right. With five groups, you're making $27,000 per month. That's $324,000 per year. And that's with 90 clients. 90 clients. All right. Most coaches that I talk to for the very first time that have 90, I would say between 90 and 150 or 90 and 200 clients are not making $200,000 per year. All right. This is $324,000 per year. And the reason why most coaches aren't making this amount with this many clients, it's because they don't have the right foundation in their business to collect money, to keep clients long term, and to get them actually committed. And this is the deal. When you have committed clients, they get better results. And when they get better results, they're happier with your business and they're going to give you more business. That's how it works. And lastly, you're working the same amount of time. So in all three of these situations, you're working the same amount of time. And this is why if you personally do one of two different things, you either get better at leading a group session yourself, or you start to attract and hire people that can run these sessions with you. Now you're able to completely maximize your revenue per hour. All right. Because this model here is not go run a million sessions per week. Right. It's literally 5 hours per week. Right. So it's how do we minimize the amount of time that we're actually coaching and training, but how do we maximize that time? And this is exactly how we do that. All right. So let's jump back in here. Okay. So there's a couple things that I want to make sure you understand here. All right. And these are really, really key and critical. So can you see now that, it's not a grind to actually hit six figures? Like your time should be spent on marketing and sales and delivering a good program. All right. But you shouldn't be grinding out 30, 40 sessions per week to do what I just showed you. Yeah. You don't have to. It can be a lot more simple. All right. And I want you to stop and ask yourself, what can I do to make my program better? All right. Because you might be thinking, well, I can't charge $300 per month. And I would be challenging you, and I would say, well, maybe your program isn't good enough. Like, what can we do to improve it? So ask yourself that, what can I do to make my program better? All right. And stop again and ask yourself, how many real clients and real and loyal clients do I actually need? Well, I just showed you numbers based off of people, paying $300 per month. You might charge more than that. You might charge less than that. But like, you need to figure out what is the actual number of clients that you need that are loyal. And I'm not talking about flaky clients that pay 1 month and then they pause, or they pay 1 month and say they're going out of town for the summer. That's not a real client, right? That client's not getting results. I'm talking about real loyal clients that want to be there, they're committed, they're willing to give you 3 grand over a Zoom call or a phone call because they want to commit to your program. They want their child to have a transformation in your business. All right. And stop and ask, stop one more time and ask yourself, what immediate changes do I need to make with my business right now to get clear on the path to 6 figures? Okay. And this is why it's good to actually look at numbers in your business. Like, how many clients do I need? What am I charging? What are these clients committing to? How am I getting clients? How many leads am I getting per week? Where are these leads coming from? Like, getting really clear and dialed in on these types of things is how you get this to 100,000 or more per year, if that's your goal. All right. And if you think $300 is a lot of money per month for parents, all right, I'm going to challenge you with something. Because if you're like, there's no way someone's going to pay me $300 per month, I would be challenging you to really ask yourself, is my program that good? Would I pay $300 per month for this type of program? And if the answer is no, then we need to make your program better. There's no way around it. Because if you're selling a cheap thing to parents, and there's too many coaches out there that sell cheap stuff, and that's why a lot of coaches in this industry don't make a lot of money, and they have a hard time making ends meet because they're undervaluing themselves, and there's opportunity to make their program a lot better and charge more, but they don't know it's possible. Why I've created this channel. It's why I've created our companies, because we help coaches unlock this sort of stuff and charge way more for what they're doing and charge premiums. That's because they make the program actually better. They make the program unique. It's a category of one type of business, right? And even if you make your program better and you're like, I don't think parents will pay $300 per month for this, then I'm going to show you something that uh, it can help you close that customer and make this really easy. So there's a new method that I've been using this with coaches that uh, have joined our program recently. If they're dealing with parents that are like, you know what, like we want to do this, we can't commit to $3,000, whatever the number is, if it's for the year. Parents can say, okay, great. If you want to split it up and you want to pay it off over 12 to 18 months from now, like, is that going to make this easier? And of course, parents are going to say yes, because if you're trying to aim for an upfront payment and someone can't afford that upfront payment, like you can have them break it into installments, and you can use things like Afterpay, Affirm, or Klarna to have the parent go in and pay, and they can choose whatever installment they want, and you get paid upfront immediately. Once they make the initial payment and they're on some sort of monthly thing with Klarna or Afterpay or Affirm, you get paid the whole $3,000 upfront. And this allows you to have way more cash flow in your business than you normally would if you're getting paid monthly. And it allows the parent an affordable option to split up the payment at their own rate. Now, with that, again, you need to have contracts and agreements and stuff like that. But now you're letting a third party deal with the payments. And if the parent's card declines or whatever, like that's not on you. They're gonna deal with that with Afterpay, Affirm, or Klarna, and you've gotten paid the $3,000. So this is why I'm making a huge push with coaches in this industry to start charging upfront, start charging premiums, because you can use options like that for people that might not be able to afford $3,000 or $4,000. I mean, there's some coaches that I work with that charge $10,000 per year because they have an amazing program. All right. So this is one of those things where if you don't think you can charge that, then we have to reframe and we have to rewire how you actually think about your offer. And we need to repackage what you're actually offering and make it better. So parents, when they look at what you're doing, they're like, oh my gosh, we have to do this. And they're willing to sacrifice other things month to month in their family to make the investment into your business because your business is going to deliver a transformation to their child, right? And I can sit here all day long and talk about, how to make your program better, how to charge more and do all this stuff. But at some point, it has to click with you and you have to be able to be willing to make changes in this business to get better results. All right. So if you're watching this, you want to scale up your business. All right. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know why I did it in this color, but you want to text me the word grow at 210-960-5771. You can get instantly in touch with me. I'd be happy to get on a one-on-one chat with you, learn more about your business, see how I can actually help you. You'll see my phone number right below this video. It's going to be in the description. And if you want to see more about what I do, how it works, how many coaches we've actually done this with, and see other case results or case studies and results and stuff like that, just go to makemoneycoachingsports.com. And that's where you can see everything you need to know about what we do, how it works, how it's going to help you. All right. And lastly, hit the subscribe button if this is the first time you ever watch one of my videos. I think like 90% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So make sure to hit subscribe. I post brand new content that's geared towards private trainers that want to grow their business, want to scale up their business in 2025 and beyond. So that's you. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you soon.